Welcome to Ngosi Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Welcome to Ngosi Talk Shows, everyone. My name is Nomsa Clara Mbe. I am the founder of Hopespring Eternal Introduction Agency and the founder of Ngosi Talk Show. I am your love harmonist. So I'm on my own today, and everyone is having a day off. So today, basically, the topic is how to develop a relationship based on love and respect. When you are in a relationship, as a man, as a woman, we all want to be loved. We all want to find that special person and share our love with them, share the love that we have discovered within ourselves and share it with them. And basically, as a man or as a woman, if you are in a relationship, you have to give your spouse a reason to feel safe with you. You have to give them a reason to feel that you are the one. I'm not saying trying to put on some personality. All I'm saying is love comes from within. And that love, when you share that love with somebody else, there are some people, they go on days from the beginning, everything is so beautiful. But it's 1 year down the line, you go to town with your husband or you go to town with your spouse, tell me if I'm lying, and the children are screaming, and the man gets annoyed, and he tells his spouse in front of everyone to F off, and the woman gets annoyed. She tells her spouse in front of everyone to F off or to get lost in front of everyone. That is not respect. I've seen it mostly in some cultures. In some cultures, in my country, the old generation, they never used to do that. But now the younger generation, because they've traveled more and they feel that they're trying to fit in, basically, they do tell their wives and or husband in front of people, tell them off, basically. And but when you are in a relationship with someone, and for that relationship to be able to grow, and because when you are in a relationship, you are planting a seed each and every day in that relationship, and instead of attacking your husband or your wife or your partner physically or verbally, just spend time with them. Know your role as a man. A man's job is not to enter a relationship and basically physically or emotionally abuse your spouse. A man's role is to protect. A woman's role, she's a mentor. So we're gonna talk about this the role thing later. So once you know your role, basically as a man, you've got to know your role. And as a woman, you have to know your role. When you enter a relationship, you have to know your role in that relationship, because everyone has a part to play in a relationship. So once you know your role, uh, you cannot be calling your spouse by names. And ladies, you cannot be basically, you cannot let your man like basically you treat him like something else. So you have to respect your man, and men, you have to respect your woman. You have to know your role as a man. If a man is the leader, so how can you lead by example if you're gonna enter a relationship and abuse your woman emotionally and basically tell her off? I used to think that it was like maybe culture when I moved to the UK, but it's not. I know it's not a English culture where men. For me, basically, when I witness a man is screaming at the woman on the street in front of everyone, that's not a British culture. I know that before I used to think so, because I know, and I know when I go to Africa, our culture basically is not like that. But men, our generation, they are doing it, screaming at their women in front of everyone, and women is screaming at their men in front of everyone. So it's because they've traveled more and they don't see the need, and that's why there's so many divorce nowadays. They don't see the need of respecting each other. But when when we write our vision, when we are writing our vision, basically to go on date, to meet someone, that vision says, actually, I'm looking for the love of my life. I'm gonna be there for you. I want someone. I'm looking for someone that I'm gonna share my love with that person. I'm looking for someone that is gonna love me. I'm looking for this person that I'm gonna share the rest of my life with them. I'm gonna laugh. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna travel around the world. There's so many things that are written in that vision. Then you start having a relationship with that vision. That means what the vision that you have created as a woman, as a man. That means you have fallen in love with that vision. But there is no like I'm going to mistreat my woman, I'm going to mistreat my man. There is nothing in that vision. So a man's job basically is to love you as a woman. If you are a woman who is listening and you are in a basically abusive relationship, a man's job is to love you and protect you. So we're going to talk about the role later. What does a man's role, their role, and a woman's role in a relationship? So a man's job or a woman, basically you protect each other. A man is a protector. A woman, she's a mentor. She's basically a man who will show you who he is by loving you, by protecting you. But if that protection is not in a relationship, the relationship will wilt up. If a man does not protect his woman, and if there is a physical or mental abuse in that relationship, there is no way that a woman can fully open up to you as to a man. If a man is emotionally abusing her, physically abusing her, there is no way a man that will open up to a woman if a man's needs is not complete. A woman and a man, you have to fulfill each other's needs. You've got to understand each other. You've got to communicate each other with each other. You've got to respect each other. When you communicate, when you respect each other, that means you enter the spirit of love and get to know each other very well and love each other and respect each other. A woman is there to honor you as a man. A woman is there to honor you, and a man is there to basically to lead. And women loves men who likes to take lead by example. So leading by example, it doesn't mean that you have to basically emotionally abuse your relationship. You have to respect each other. You've got to understand your roles and love him. Women, love your husband with all your heart. Love your spouse or your partner, even if you're not married. Love that man with all your heart. Relationship is about respect. Never compare your man. Go on social media, start scrolling down. You scroll down, you see this man with 6 packs. You met this man 2 years ago, he had 6 packs, or he had a belly man, now he's put on a little bit of pound. And you're scrolling down on social media. You see this handsome man. When you come home, you look at your husband, you look at your spouse, your partner, you're like, what's the heck? You tell him off because you're frustrated. You want him to go to the gym because in your mind there is a man that you have designed that you want. But he's not that anymore. He was that when you met him, or when you met him, you believed that you could change him. But then when that doesn't happen, then you get frustrated because when you go on social media, you see these celebrities, these men that are go to the gym every single day. They look amazing. And then you come home and you get angry with your husband. And man, you go on social media as well, you scroll down, you look at these women who have not got children, or they have had children, they went and done some boob jobs and Brazilian butt, and you come home because your woman, she's had 3 children, or she's had 2 children, 5, 7 children. She doesn't look the same anymore. When you look at her, you don't see the woman that you met. Instead of working with your woman, if you believe that you can help your woman to go back to her body, because people change. Instead of you abusing her and telling her off and not respecting her, instead of looking at this woman who is beautiful. When a woman gives birth to your children, she gives life to your children. Her body will change. It's never going to look the same how you find that woman. It's not going to look the same. Once that happens, there are ways you can actually, men and women, you can have like goals. Maybe go to the gym as a day out together. Maybe go walking as a day out together. You can actually have a plan to help each other out. When you help each other out, that means you have a plan. You are helping each other. I need some tissue. You help each other out on uh, help each other out to build that relationship, to build the confidence. Because sometimes some women, when after they've had children, they don't feel the same anymore. They feel that the body changes, so the confidence goes. So you could help your woman instead of a man fighting you. You could help each other out. Or a man is put on a belly, you could help each other out to go to the gym. It's healthy. It's nice to basically to go to the gym, because you don't go to the gym basically to abuse your body. You go to the gym eating healthy, or you can actually go swimming together. There are so many things that you can do. If you have children, I'm afraid you still need a break. If you have children and there's family members, it is okay to ask a family member to help you with the kids so you can have your own time. There are some women who tell you, hell no, I will not leave my children with somebody else. But what about your family? Some people have parents who are alive. You could leave your children with your parents and go and have basically that quality time with yourself, and go to the gym, go for a walk, go for swimming. Or man, if you feel that your wife needs help, or your partner, you could help each other instead of going on social media, looking at the women who are really sexy, and basically start chatting to them, and they keep you busy. When you are at work, they keep you busy. When you get home, because you don't get that attention to your wife, to your spouse, you get upset, you get grumpy. She's no longer beautiful anymore. He's no longer beautiful. You know what? He annoys me. When he does this, I get annoyed. Okay, go meditate. Go to a prayer room. Pray. Ask God to help you to love, to connect with people, because when you feel annoyed with someone that you love, that means that there is a disconnection. I can tell you, in my relationship, I fight with my spouse, but when I fight with my spouse, I don't get annoyed with what basically with that fight. I don't get annoyed. The fight is allowed. We are allowed to fight in that relationship. We are allowed to express our feelings if we feel that our needs have not met. We are allowed to explain and to let that person know that actually my needs have not been met, instead of bleeding emotionally inside and not expressing how you are feeling. So you are allowed to actually express your feelings and tell your spouse your feelings, explain your feelings. So if you basically feel that you are annoyed, don't go on social media, or you feel that your spouse have changed. There are some people, they enter a relationship, and after they enter a relationship, they don't want to do anything. So they don't want to do anything. That's when you're gonna need a therapist for you to basically, for you to go back to the beginning, so you can go back to the beginning, the effort that you made in the beginning, wanting this man to win your heart, wanting this woman to win your heart. You're gonna have to keep that personality. You're gonna have to keep that energy. You're gonna have to keep that character. Well, if you grow, when you grow, your character doesn't change. You grow, it's a growth. That means it builds up. So you're learning new things, and that means you can bring that energy to the foundation of your relationship for you to build that relationship. And it takes years, it takes time to be able to do that, to be able to build a good foundation in a relationship. It takes years. But when your spouse feels that her needs are not met emotionally, when your spouse feel like she's not respected, or he is not respected in that relationship, within that love, it gets, basically she will drop her heart and say, I don't want to go all in, because if I go all in, I'm gonna get hurt. If I get hurt like before, maybe it's the first time, if I get hurt. So, and then she'll end up protecting herself. That means the feelings get shut down within. And that you can feel that the relationship, the happiness that you had has been stripped away. You can feel that, or sometimes when a man goes on social media comparing his woman with other women on social media, when a woman goes on social media comparing her man with other men on social media, it can feel that the foundation that it was building for years and years is been stripped away by six pack from social media, by book jobs on social media, by Brazilian part on social media that you have seen on social media. So you have to make a choice as a man, you have to make a choice as a woman, you have to make a choice when you get home, for not to disrespect your woman, for not to disrespect your spouse. Even if they've gained a pound, you make them pay the price for gaining that pound, for the changes in their body. You make them pay the price. Love, it means you enter the spirit of love. You get to know your spouse. You get to know your lover very well. Get to know their world. Why do they love the things that they love to do? Why do they believe the things that they believe? You get to know someone by basically communicating with them, talking, asking questions about their childhood. Their values. What made them value those values that they have? Be curious, wanting to know, and their past, if they are wounded, if they talk about their past to you, and maybe their childhood, their parents, listen to them, relate to their story. There are some people just communicate with you because they want you to get to know them. But somebody communicates with you because they want you to feel sorry for them. But there are some people that definitely, when they meet a lovely woman or a lovely man, they want to share their love story with them. They want to share their their upbringing with you. So all you got to do is enter the spirit of love. Share that love you have within your spouse. Relate to their story and sympathize. When you relate to someone, it means you're connecting, you connect. They tell you their story, you listen, you connect because basically when somebody tells you their story, you're connecting, you're getting to know them very well, and you are relating to their story. We are sympathizing with their story. Then comes the connection. When comes the connection, then that connection is spiritually in your subconscious, you're connected because that means you become one. You're relating to their story. You are sympathizing with their story. You basically, meaning you're getting to know the person very, very well. Instead of telling them off, instead of disrespecting them, be curious about this woman, this man that you've met, that this man that you live with, you are basically you've married. Just ask questions, get to know them. Families, ask questions. And once you get to know that person, that means you get to know their world. And that connection cannot be broken. If it's a really, really true connection, it means when you fight with grace. When you fight, that means you fight and you forgive each other. Because when you love someone, love means I love you until I die. It means I'll take a bullet for my spouse. Meaning taking a bullet, it means no one can mess up with my spouse. It means when I go out and I hear someone saying things about my spouse, I'm like, hell no. Hell no. It means commitment. It means respect. It means basically in your heart, when you connect with someone properly, it means when you go through challenges in life, when you go through challenges with your spouse, it means you tell your spouse, honey, you know what, in my heart, even if we go through challenges in life, I'm all in. I'm all in. We go through challenges in life, I'm there. I will hold your hand until we come out. Until we come out of those dark places that we will be facing. That's what love is about, not our generation. Our generation nowadays, you enter a relationship, and when things go wrong in that relationship, you are like, I don't think so. This is not what I have asked for. I was told love is love, means romance, means flowers. Love means we have sex. It means we laugh every day. We don't fight. It means you buy me gifts. It means this. You know, our generation, we have a different definition. Hi, Victoria. We have a different definition of what love is than the old generation. If you look at people like who have been married for a very, very long time, they will tell you that for them to be married for that long, for 50 years, they had to learn to basically to be independent. They had to learn to basically to understand their spouse and understand that men are different, the difference between men and women. So they understand each other. They don't put up with each other. They actually understand each other, their needs, and they work hard to meet each other's needs. And that's why we go to our parents for dinner. We go to our parents because our parents, they make an effort to actually accommodate people. So our generation, the old generation, when things got tough, they didn't get out of marriage. And it wasn't like now. Before, they didn't have all this luxury with therapies. Now we have so many opportunities. When a relationship don't work out, we have therapists that we can actually go and seek help. But our old generation, they didn't have all that, but their relationship lasted for many, many years. But now it's like, okay, if I enter a relationship, you tell me that your needs are not met. You try to explain to me that your needs are not met. I'm out. My job is for you to buy me flowers. As your queen, buy me flowers. Tell me how much you love me. Is for you to basically to take me out, restaurant, make me happy. I don't have to do anything. Just make me happy. That's what people basically define love, but that's not love. Love is about you knowing your role as a woman, because men are different, women are different. When we enter a relationship, a man has a role to play, a woman has a role to play in that relationship. So that means what are the roles? A man is a provider in that relationship. A woman, she's a provider as well. That is a role for a man. That is a role for a woman. And a woman, she's a helper. She's a helper and she's a mentor. And this one, he's an architect. The man is an architect, meaning he designs his life. How do I want? Okay, I want to have kids. I want to get married. How do I want my children to live? Where do I want to live? What kind of a house? Then he comes in, tell his woman his ideas. This one, she mentors him. Or she doesn't tell him, oh, you know what, you're dreaming. She mentors him. She helps him with his dreams to come to reality. Because a woman is a mentor and a woman, she is a helper. A woman keeps the men together. A man who is successful. Every man that is successful, there is a woman behind. It's either his mother or it's either is his spouse. He has a good spouse or he has a good mother. If every man that is successful, he has a good friend. That is a woman that he helps him to stay together, to keep everything together. He is an architect. He basically he draws his life. This is how I want to live. This is how I want my children to live. And then he shares it with his wife. Together with his spouse, the foundation comes up. A woman, then he puts everything together, the pieces together. Now they have an agreement. The foundation comes up. And then a man is a teacher. A man teaches his woman, this is how I want to be treated. This is how I want my needs to be met. If you want to fulfill my needs, this is who I am. This is what I want from you. As a man has his want, his desires from a woman. That's why a man wants to date a woman. He doesn't date a woman because he wants you to rescue him. A man does not date a woman because he wants to feel safe. He has his needs that needs to be met. A man, if he would never ever truly surrender to a woman if his needs are not met. His well-being, his job basically is to make sure his woman is well-being and is being looked after, and for him to actually surrender and make sure that for him, women, if you want a man to surrender, fully give fully his heart to you, you have to make sure his well-being, his needs are fulfilled. You have to make sure, and then for that, he will love you. He will protect you. He will make sure that your well-being is fulfilled as well. Physically, he will protect you. Spiritually, he will protect you. And he will go all in with his heart. If he knows that he's got the right woman that fulfill his needs, not the woman that disrespect him. So a woman's role, a man, he's a designer. A man designs his life. A woman, she's an inventor. She gives life to the man's children. She gives life. That means women they've never actually realized how important they are in this world, because every child that is breathing, there is a woman who carried that child for 9 months. There is a woman who went to labor, gave a life. It is a life. A woman gives life. So that means a man should love and protect that woman because she gives life to your children. And a woman should love and protect her husband. A woman, she's a developer. Basically, she designs, plans the outings for with her husband. She knows her man very well. She asks questions, honey, when we go out, where would you like to go? Would you like to go and visit your family? You don't talk. Basically, you don't let your men know how you feel about their mother. Never say, I hate your mom. Never tell a man you hate his mother. Ever, 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 never. Even if that's how you feel, keep it to yourself. If you want your love, your relationship to be fulfilled, never say out loud, I can't stand your mom. I hate your mom. I hate your siblings. Never say that to a man. If you want a man to fully surrender and submit his heart to you, never ever tell him how you feel about his family. You can explain. If your family, there's something they are doing, the communication, make sure your message is very clear and is clean, how they are making you feel, so you can fix it. In that way, a man will understand that you are actually bringing the family together. You are not separating the family. Never say, I cannot stand your parents. I cannot stand your dad. I cannot stand it. And the men never say that to a woman as well. Even if a woman cannot stand their parents, no comment. Never comment. Your job is you are there to protect, to love her, to make sure that she's protected. And when it comes to family, ask her, how do you want me to play? What part do you want me to play to help you build a good relationship with your family? So never say to a man, I cannot stand your parents or your mother, because that woman is the woman that stood by that man. They grew up together. He breastfed that man. When that man cried, that woman was there to look after that man that you are dating. to look after them. If they are not treating you well, mostly sometimes in psychology, if you basically use the psychology when it comes to relationship, when the in-laws are not being nice to you, it means they have lived with this man all their lives, and they feel that you are taking that man away from them. It will then be up to you, your action, the energy that you bring to say, no, I'm here to build a life with this man. I'm here to get to know you, his parents, but not to say, you know what, when they're annoying, I hate them. I can't stand them in his face. Your relationship will be affected emotionally and physically, because that man inside, he will get hurt. The words that we speak, they go inside our heart. He will get hurt even if he doesn't show you. You can ask any man that is really, really close to their parents. You can ask them. You don't have to pretend. If they're not being nice to you, you don't have to pretend. Their ways of communicating with your spouse, letting them know how they're making you feel, so that you can actually have a relationship with them. And if you can't have a relationship with them, you still cannot talk trash about them to your spouse. If you want the man to submit to you, to fully give you his heart and love you and protect you physically and mentally, you can't do that. And that's why most relationships don't work. And us, the younger generation, we don't understand it. We don't know why. That's why young people relationships sometimes don't last. We want a fast life. We want, there's takeaway in food. We want takeaway in relationship. We don't want to do the work. You tell me about doing the work. The only work I can do is makeup and doing my hair. You want me to do the work in a relationship? I don't have time for that. But we should have time for it. It's something that I've learned the hard way. That's why I basically decided I'm going to do the relationships. If you basically have a comment or any ideas you like to share, please do. And also, a woman, she brings order to the family. That's why I'm saying, as a woman, don't tell a man that I hate your mother, or I hate your father, or I hate your siblings. Because a woman is meant to bring order to the family. A woman is meant to basically, your job as a woman is to get into the relationship, and that man has a family. If they don't have a family, maybe they fight with the family. That is none of your business. Don't get involved, because once they make up, you'll be in the middle of it. So for me, basically, I always tell people, don't get involved. Whenever there is a fight with people, never get involved. Because when people make up, your name will be in the middle of it. You'll be the wrong one. So never get involved. Um, when my spouse comes in and tells me about how annoyed he is with it, he never said it anyway, but if he was to come and say, I'm annoyed with my siblings, or I'm annoyed with this, he's very close to his family. And when they argue like normal families. And when he is arguing with any of his siblings, my job is to listen, not to give him advice. Stay out of it. So I try to stay out of it. I comfort him. I basically, I'm there. I'm not a therapist for him. He's got to decide. His relationship is his relationship. He's got to decide how he's gonna move forward when it comes to his siblings, when it comes to his family. So you don't get involved. Women, if you are listening to this later, please never talk trash about your man's family, or men, never talk trash about your woman's family, because as a man who protects her, she wants to know that she can feel safe with you. She wants to know that you can protect her. She wants to share her life with you. Even if she is having problems with her family, never get involved or talk trash. Pray for with her. If you are not a believer of God, Ask the universe to teach you how to love. Ask the universe to teach you how to connect with people, because we were created within the universe. The universe knows better than us. God knows better than us. He knows He can teach us. God loves unconditional. So He can teach us to love. So if you depend your love on the flesh, you'll be disappointed. You'll always be disappointed. But if you depend your love in God or the universe, you will never be disappointed. Never, because the universe cannot reject you. The universe or God says, come with your burden. It means whatever the mistakes you have made, He says, I'll forgive you as long you want me, as long you want to come to me. So the universe, if you don't know how to love, or your spouse is having problems with their spouse, with their parents, instead of talking trash to them, ask the universe, the energy, bring the energy to help your spouse. Ask God. Those who go to church, prayer is very important. You can pray about it. And what else? So if you basically are struggling to connect, there are some people basically who struggle to connect with people because of their past, because of what happened in the past. I can't connect with a man fully, be happy because of what happened in the past. I was hurt. So I can't connect with a woman, or I can't connect with a man. But why not reveal it to the universe? If you've been hurt before, why not tell the universe? Speak out loud. Speak out loud. Tell God your feelings. Tell the universe your feelings. And make a promise to yourself that you will learn to love yourself. And once you learn to love yourself, then you will share that love with somebody else. Share your love with your spouse. And love unconditional. God loves us unconditional. And if you are struggling to connect, why not saying it out loud? Say, you know what? I've been hurt. I'm struggling to connect. Come face to face with the universe. Come face to face with God. Tell Him how you're feeling. Tell Him I want to love again. I want to feel. If you're feeling cold, hurt, when someone has been hurt, they can be paralyzed within. That means they don't want to be near anyone. They don't want to love again because they've been paralyzed by something that was meant to protect them. There are some people who have been abused, sexually abused by their fathers. That means they cannot love again. To them, that's what they think. I cannot love again because the father that was meant to protect me, the uncle, the stranger that was meant to protect me, they hurt me sexually. So I cannot love again. And that's what they tell themselves. Instead of telling God, God, I feel paralyzed inside. I feel paralyzed by shame, by guilty. But I don't want to feel this way. I want to love again. I want to connect with people. I want to feel. I want to have feelings. Don't tear down. Instead, some people enter a relationship. If they've been hurt, they enter a relationship. You could go either way, enter a relationship and love that person unconditionally. Or they could enter a relationship and tear their lover down. So as a leader, you lead by example. In a relationship, a man is a leader, and then both men and women, they submit to one another. And they love each other unconditionally. They understand their roles in that relationship. They understand their responsibilities. It is your responsibility if you feel you can't connect with someone again. If you feel cold inside, the feelings, it is your responsibility to fix you. It is your responsibilities, not anybody's responsibilities. It is your responsibility to make sure to have the courage to seek help, to have the courage to lead by example, by taking action, seeking help, so you can love you again. Because when you struggle to love, that means there is a struggle within. That means that means there is something to do with the childhood attachment that you need to deal with. And once you deal with that childhood attachment, then you can love again. Because if you are struggling to love your spouse, if you are struggling to enter a relationship and love again, that means every normal relationship, whether with your friends, whether with your family, is going to be a struggle. That's why sometimes when you meet people and they are like, okay, maybe sometimes people fight and then you hear someone, oh, she is who she is, or he is who he is because of what happened when he was growing up, when she was growing up. There are so many excuses, but you can actually take action and fix your relationship, fix your life. You can take action and be a leader, not bleeding emotionally. Some people bleed inside. Emotions, they bleed because they can't communicate their needs to their spouse, and it becomes a frustration. That frustration, it becomes your identity. That means when I'm frustrated inside, I'm not gonna respect you. If I'm frustrated inside, I'm gonna get it all out on you. But if you learn to deal with your emotions, then you'll be able to actually live and have a fulfilling relationship. Even if you were not in a relationship, that means you can actually have that loving and fulfilling relationship within yourself. Learn to love. Enter the spirit of love and love your spouse, and not tearing your lover down. So that's what love is about. Love is about communicating your wants. It's about knowing your role. Women, you have to know your role in a relationship. Men, you have to know your role. Some people believe that basically just love on its own and build a good foundation in a relationship. But I'm afraid it takes courage. It takes work, hard work. It takes spending time to build that relationship. It takes time. It takes the knowledge of understanding how to solve problems. It takes the knowledge of communications when it comes to relationship. It takes the knowledge of knowing how to connect. You have to have the knowledge of knowing how to connect instead of staying disconnected. Spiritually, you have to be connected to yourself. Once you connected to yourself and you love yourself, you are able to connect to someone else. But if you are not connected, then that will be a problem for you to connect with other people. Some people say, I'm happy on my own. No one is happy being on their own. It's lonely being on your own. When I'm saying some people saying they are happy being on their own, they don't have friends, they don't have spouse, but they say I'm happy because they've been hurt. And in doing so, they've built a wall of protection. And that wall of protection that has been built, it means you have to break the chains for you to be able to be free and to love, to connect with other people. Because just because you've been hurt by someone, it doesn't mean someone else is gonna hurt you. Yes, you might meet people that might hurt you, but that's what life is about. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from the people that come our way every single day. There is a lesson that we have to learn from. We have to learn something from those people. So that means basically you have to know your role as a man, as a woman. Love, unconditional love. You don't have to. Once you work on that spirit within, you activate your spiritual within, you meditate. There's so many things that you can do, meditate and prayer life, have a prayer life. And you have to do something. If you're not doing something, that means your spirit is dead inside. We have to speak the truth. So you've got to do something. Because if you are not doing something, if you don't have any beliefs that you believe or anything that you do to basically activate basically your energy, how are you living? That means you don't have a heart. The heart is there, but it's been paralyzed by the pain of your past. It's been paralyzed by shame of your past, which you shouldn't feel that way. When you've been hurt, you shouldn't feel ashamed of that hurt. It's never your fault. You never asked for it. You shouldn't be ashamed. You shouldn't feel guilty. You should have, it should basically give you some knowledge, maybe to teach others how you basically help yourself and come out of that situation. So that is me for today, guys. So I leave you with this. Love unconditional. Love yourself unconditional. You cannot love and share your love with someone if you don't love the person that has stood by you, which is you. So love unconditional yourself. Once you learn to love yourself unconditional, then you can share that love with someone else and receive that love from someone else. Because if you don't know how to love, you won't be able to receive the love that you don't know. So if you know something, then you'll be able to receive it gracefully, peacefully, and embrace it. If you are someone who has been hurt, why not heal yourself? It was never your fault. You shouldn't feel guilty. Heal yourself. Go for meditation. Do exercises. Activate that spirit within you. Life will always be there to bring challenges, but it is up to you how you respond to those challenges. I cannot say I know how you feel because I don't. All I know is my story. I know how my story feels. I had to rewrite my story. I had to relearn some bad habit that I have learned from my past. I had to create my own story and define it. My story is with God. With God, I'll never be disappointed. My expectations from love is not from a man or is not from a woman. My expectations from love is God. Because God knows how to love unconditional, or the universe, whatever your beliefs that might be. For me, is that when I go to God, I ask Him, teach me how to love. Teach me how to understand myself. Teach me to get to know the norms that is within. Teach me to love me, to accept me so I can love others, then I'm able to share that love with the other people. It's something that I do it every single day. I annoy God because I want to be closer to Him. I want to be able to love my children. I want to be able to love my spouse. I want to be able to love my family. But do I expect anything in return? No, I don't. I don't have expectations. But I have my principles, how I want to be treated. If I don't get that treatment from my family, I don't get disappointed because they're human beings. Somehow, there's someone who says Nomsa disappointed me because I'm a human being. I cannot please you. I cannot fulfill your needs. I can try. But once you fulfill your needs, then I'm able to plant the seeds and make things better in your life. So that's my beliefs. That's what I believe. I believe that no man can give me the life that I want. I can give myself the life that I want by working within me, understanding who is Nomsa. What does Nomsa want? What's Nomsa's beliefs? Why does Nomsa love the things that she loves? My values. Why do I value these things it's just me? That's how I believe. So if you are struggling, get to know you, connect with you, ask the universe to help you to connect, ask God to help you to connect with yourself so you can connect with everyone else. First, you have to connect with yourself. If you are single, go to Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency, www.hseia.com. Hotel Sierra Innocent Echo Alpha.com and connect with me and my team, and just send a message or send an application form. You want to connect with the coaches that goes to talk shows to help you lead, find your own voice, lead from within. Please do so by going to our page or go to Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency or message me private on my Facebook page or LinkedIn anyway. I'm just here to hear from you. God bless everyone. Live with grace.